Okay, so I just watched Shotgun Wedding, and I watched it on a plane going to Italy. So I honestly couldn't believe, the quality of this movie to me, and I thought this is exactly what a movie meant to be watched on a plane should be. The jokes were pretty much non-existent. It was very digestible, very easy to watch. It had likable, cast and characters. I didn't think the characters were really all that likable. I just think that it's a watchable movie, and that is the complete opposite of a good movie. I mean, I think Roger Ebert said the quote, "A movie made for everyone is a movie made for no one," but this movie just, more than anything, doesn't have an identity. It's like one of these, it reminds me a lot of Netflix's Murder Mystery, just this soulless attempt to give us something. Like, here's what, a studio would think entertainment is, and it's just so dull, and I couldn't even believe that, the writer and the director, Jason Moore, came up with something that was just so, it just felt like a waste of time. That's why I was watching on the plane. I'm like, this feels like it's meant to be just seen when you're like, you need to kill time. Because every character in this was really not that likable. And every plot point that just kept developing was so bad. First of all, the story at its core is kind of broken. It's about these couples, Josh Duhamel and Jennifer Lopez, and they are a little opposite, and they're finally getting together for this wedding. And the issue is they're not ready to be married. She is fighting with him. He's fighting because she wanted a smaller wedding. He just wants to impress his parents, but he loves her. There's these miscommunications, and right off the bat, you have something that's been done 1,000 times before. Then they add the Die Hard aspect into it, where you have pirates who come to the island where they're having their wedding to. This is the worst part. There's no purpose what they're even there to do. There's no inherent goal where they want a fortune or they want, the money that someone has. They're just there. They hold everyone hostage for no reason. And then while this is happening, there's just these boring jokes where, the people who are held hostage are just in the pool, what do we do? It's just so not funny. And I think you could have mined this and actually gotten something pretty funny out of this. I think that it's just that they didn't do anything with it that makes you think, well, it's what a waste of a time. And I think that with the two people who are getting married, the groom and the bride, and trying to find that, that chemistry that, maybe they didn't have that, and now they can rekindle it, and, through fighting the bad guys, they can save their marriage. But the movie just doesn't work at all. So many of the... It's funny because I read that Armie Hammer was originally cast in the role Josh Duhamel was cast in, and they recast him and brought Jennifer Lopez in, and I think that they are, fine together, fine. But there was something missing where I'm I just thought, the story could have had more. It felt like they were just bouncing off each other with very little friction. And all of the moments where it was supposed to add conflict, where he's well, this island was actually raided by pirates before. And then she goes well, you knew that? You didn't tell me? And there's just so many points where the conflict feels ridiculous. They're being attacked by pirates, yet they're still arguing. And I get that that could be a point that, despite all this craziness, they're still, fighting, and that's the joke. But it just isn't funny, and they don't deliver, any type of humor. And also the bad guys are, nameless, faceless. It doesn't even matter. They have no personality. I think if you had just added depth or added, characters with more depth, it could have worked. And it doesn't. And I just think that, this movie is a disappointment because... it just has a lot of potential, and you have a great actor like Jennifer Lopez, you have Josh Duhamel, and you just have the opportunity to tell a funny, crime caper that could be presented on a streaming service. Unfortunately, this is just not worth your time. It's very safe. They even make a joke where they're oh, you look like a Simpsons with your head like a square, and it just seems like they were reaching for jokes, but it's just very not funny, and I didn't enjoy it.